So our next topic is CSS, Introduction to CSS. So what is CSS? CSS stands for Cascading Style Sheet. Normally, when we design a web page, okay, we develop a web page using various HTML elements. So all these elements, they just give you the structure of our web page. Okay, for example, I can have multiple sections, okay, paragraphs. I can have a heading section. Okay, I can have a footer. I can have a navigation bar, okay, or I can have anchor text. So all these they just give me the structure of my web page. Fine. Now the structure itself will not be enough for any web page. Apart from the structure, we need to have some kind of enhancement. So I want to increase the look and feel of a web page. So the web page look and feel can be improved only by CSS, cascading style sheet. It is not only look and feel. Sometimes we need to position the various HTML elements at different places. In that sense, also CSS plays its vital role. Okay. Now it is akin to painting a house. So I can just give an analogy. When we construct a house, we construct our house using the basic building blocks. Okay, like window structure, door structure, everything. But once the house is constructed, of course, walls, everything was fabricated. Everything was fabricated. But after everything is over, we go for painting. So painting only gives you look and feel of your house. Okay. So like painting, how painting helps a house to have an enhanced view, enhanced view for the outside world. In the same way, CSS enhances or improves a website's look and feel. Fine. So apart from improving the look and feel, CSS also plays a role in positioning the various elements of our web page. Fine. So we will just see in this demonstration what are the different basic rules of CSS. How do we apply it in our web page? Okay. So now what is the meaning of cascading here? So see, style sheet is okay. Cascading means when you apply a particular style to the parent element, by default all the children also, okay, they get that particular style. Okay, this is called cascading. Okay, for example, I have a division contains a paragraph contains another text, everything. Okay, fine. Now whatever style I applied to division will be applied to the paragraph also, until unless you override, okay, inside the paragraph. Okay, by default, okay, the style which is applied to the parent element gets applied to the children also. This is called cascading. Okay, now we will see with an example, okay, how do we create a cascading style sheet. Of course, when we look at the site, see, you can see here, I think we discussed about adding style to a web page, CSS. What is the meaning of cascading here? Then what is inline, internal and external CSS? So we can apply CSS or style to a web page in different manner. So when I say different manner, every element can be applied a particular style. Okay, CSS style. That's called inline. For example, I have multiple paragraphs, 2 paragraphs. First paragraph can be applied with a style of background color of blue color. Second paragraph can be applied gray or whatever it is. Fine. Now these 2 paragraphs, they have to be separated. Okay, they have to be applied different styles. So for that we go for inline. When you say internal, the complete CSS will be applied to the page, the entire page. So I can apply the CSS, okay, style inside my head section. Fine. Then we will go for external CSS, where the head section will not have the complete style. It will have only link to that external CSS file. That's called external CSS. So the advantage of external CSS is the same style can be applied to different pages. Only thing is every page should be linked to that particular specific CSS file. Okay, so all these 3 things we will just see in our demonstration. Fine. First we will see how do we apply, okay, CSS to a web page. So we'll get into the practical session. Now right now I'll open my, okay, VS Code. Now VS Code is opened. Now there's nothing in the body. I'll save it. I'll just show you a browser. Look at this. There is nothing in the body. Now what I'll do, I'll just go for, okay, yeah, it's H1. Okay. So H1 I'll say, this is, I'll just say XYZ Corporation. Fine. Now this H1 element is going to be applied an inline CSS. That's what you're going to say. I'll just maximize a little bit. Look at this. Yeah, now you can see, I think. Okay, XYZ Corporation is the text of that H1 element. Now what I'll do, I'll be just going for, okay, style. This is called inline styling. Look at this, style. Now style, okay, attribute, okay, is represents our CSS styling. Fine. Now here the value will be within double quotation, and there can be multiple values. For example, you say, I'll just say background color. Background hyphen color will be, I'll just say, okay, aqua color, semicolon. Why semicolon? I want to have multiple, okay, combination of, okay, attribute and values. Now this is a first attribute. Background color is a first param. Of course, it's called a property, because normally style is called an attribute. So this is called a property. Okay, property, CSS property, and colon, then the value. What is a value? Okay, value is aqua. So what I'll do, I'll just save it. I'll just show my website. Look at this, XYZ Corporation. So it got a background color of aqua background color. Okay. Now you can see here by default this H1 has certain margin. Look at this. See, there is a margin over here. Look at this on top. This is called a margin. Margin is nothing but the space between the top of your canvas and your element. That's called margin. By default, it gets some margin. See, the same thing I can go for. See, look at this. The same page, I'll apply it, use it in, I just copy this address. I'll go to, Google Chrome. Because Google Chrome is better than, IIS for some reasons. I'll just paste that address, Control V. Look at this, same thing got applied here. Okay, now if I look at that, I'll just right click this element and I'll go to inspect. I think this we have seen in our previous session also. You can see now the moment I see hover over my element using mouse. Okay, look at this. There is a background color here. On left side you can see that there is a blue background. Okay, background color. Okay, that's not the same color actually which we are given, but it highlights basically, this development tool highlights that particular element. Okay, then you have a orange color that shows your, okay, margin. Fine. So I'll just close this. Then now I'll come back to my code. So you can see here. So first property is background color. Then what I'll do, I'll just say color. Color is second property. Value will be, I'll just say give a dark crimson. Okay, crimson is one of the colors, good color. I'll save it. Look at this, how it looks. Fine. So this is a second property. Color is a second property. Crimson is a value. Then I'll go for third property called text align. Align will be center. Sometimes it gives you help automatically. Put a semicolon. So look at this. Now this H1, okay, text got centered, okay, within the web page. Fine. So what happened? We are given three properties and associated values. Okay, so this is called inline, okay, styling, inline cascading style sheeting. In fact, inline styling it's called. Okay, inline styling. Fine. Like that I can have one more thing called H2. So I'll just give H2. Okay, I'll just call it as city name. So I'll just say Bengaluru. Fine. So I'll just say, okay, style. So the problem is when you have inline kind of styling, for every element you should have separate things. Okay, look at this. Now I should put a key attribute called style here. Then I had to fill up background color. Even though the colors are different, you have to type as, okay, complete things over here. Look at this background color. I'll just copy this. I'll put it here. I'll remove this aqua. I'll put some other color. I'll just say blue. Okay, I'll save this. Look at this. Now this H2, okay, with a background color of blue. And then I'll just say color of white smoke. I'll give the stylish white. So look at this. Fine. So I can have, so you need to repeat. The problem with the inline styling is you need to repeat, okay, all the properties at every element. Okay, the key, the attribute style should be there, followed by everything. Okay, the property, then followed by value, everything should be there. So I'll just say text align, text will be center. Then I can add one more thing called font, okay, weight or font family. Font family can be Verdana, okay, Verdana sans serif. I'll just save this. You can see here. Okay, now the style got changed. Now look at this. Now, as I told you in the previous demonstrations, H1 is a block level element, H2 is also block level element. Fine. So that they are getting shown or rendered one below the other, because H1 completely occupies the entire space. Look at this. The space occupied by H1. This is the space occupied by H2. H2 also occupies the complete space. So H1, H2, they are block level elements. So see, you can come to know whether it's a block level element or inline element by giving a background color. So when you give a background color, you can come to know that it completely occupies. Otherwise, you will not be knowing it. Okay, otherwise you will be thinking, okay, it goes up to here only. Or you may think, okay, the Bengaluru, okay, it stops here. But it takes the complete space. The moment you give background color, you will come to know that particular element occupies the complete screen space. It's right from the beginning till the end. Okay, across, horizontally. Okay, horizontally I'm talking about. Okay, now look at this, is called inline styling. This is called inline styling. Okay, so I think we discussed about inline styling. Now what I'll do, I'll just comment all these things. So I'll just block it, control / okay, they got commented. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going for, okay, internal CSS. What is internal CSS? So what I'll do, I'll just say H1. Okay, I'll just take anything I want. So I'll just copy the same thing. Okay, XYZ Corporation. Okay, XYZ Corporation. Fine. Then H2 will be Bengaluru. H2. So I'll just say Bengaluru. Okay, I'll just save it and show you the page. Look at this. Now it looks, very simple. Okay, very raw, in fact. Okay, because there is no styling got added. There is no styling at all. Okay, now what happens? We are going to do internal CSS. What is internal CSS? So internal CSS normally should be done within head element of your web page, head section of your web page. So what I'll do, I'll just go here, style. Okay, type style, give enter. That's it. Okay, so starting say opening tag of style, closing tag of style. Okay, within that we are going to give everything. So here the convenience, the advantage of internal CSS is you can just select the, basically it's called selector. I'm selecting this element H1, then I can give a bracket, open bracket, then it will automatically close it. What's called called flower bracket. I give enter here, then I can just give background color. Okay, I see the advantage of the internal CSS is so it gives you help. Okay, it automatically gives you help. Both internal as well as external CSS, they'll give you help. The moment you start typing back, it will fill up with background, whatever it is, anything which starts with back. So I'll just say any pink. I'll just say deep pink. Okay, fine. Then I'll just say text. So look at this, text align. Okay, center. Then I'll say so anything, whatever you want. Okay, for example, I can give color. Color mean text color. Color property will be having white. So I'll save it. Okay, and show you the output. Look at this. Okay, so the advantage is it does not clutter the code with your HTML. So HTML stands separate. Okay, look at this. HTML code stands separate. Of course, the body elements, they stand separate. Your style completely stands separate. That's the advantage. Fine. So you can see basically H1 is called a selector. You can select any element, okay, by name or whatever it is. Here we are selecting the element by name. So all H1 will be of same thing. Now look at this. Now if I have one more H1, see, I'll just copy this, paste it here. I'll just say XYZ Corporation. I'll just say Karnataka. I'll save it. See, this is also H1. Okay, the same styles are applied to the second H1 also. Second H1 heading also. Fine. So see, because you have selected a common thing called H1. Okay, so it gets applied to all H1s. Okay, the same way I am going to do H2. Select, then flower bracket, open it. It will automatically close it. Enter here. Then I'll say background color. Background color, I'll just say light, okay, green or whatever you want, light green. Then color will be, okay, color will be, I'll just say red, will be red. Then text align will be, okay, center. Okay, fine. Of course, you can add text shadow, whatever it is, you can just see text shadow. You can give some, 10 pixels shadow. I'll just save it. Now look at this. Fine. Now what happened is, I think shadow did not get applied. So, okay. So color, I'll just say, I'll take one of these values. Let us see what happens. No, it didn't get applied actually. Text shadow. Maybe some properties, no, they don't get applied to everything. Fine. Now what happens? I'll save it. Now look at this. H2 is Bengaluru. This text is getting a background color of light green and centered. So this is called internal CSS. This is called internal CSS because the CSS is part of your HTML document itself. That's called internal CSS. Okay, so you can have all your elements selected here and you can apply one by one. Okay, so the advantage of this particular styling is it separates your the body HTML elements from your style. Okay, so that's advantage. The disadvantage, if you take, the thing is this style can be applied to only this page. The same style cannot be applied to some other page. If you have to apply for some other page, then you have to copy all the style, put it over there. Okay, so that increases the size of your file also. Unnecessarily you are copying, pasting everything. So this is called internal CSS. Fine. Hope this was convenient, comfortable for you. Now what happens? We will go to the third category and the last category, that's called the external CSS. Okay, so for that what I'll do, I'll just delete everything. I'll just cut it because I'm going to use it somewhere else. Okay, I will save it right now. I'll use a shortcut to create a new file under VS Code, Control N. Okay, then Control S for saving. Then I'll say style.css. Okay, so you can give any name you want, but I'm just giving style.css. Say yes. Already there is a style.css is there, so let it override, no problem. Okay, so you see style.css got opened. Okay, now what happens? I'll just paste it here, but right now I should not keep all the style and all. Okay, I'll just remove everything. I should have only elements. Okay, only elements. So I'll just I'll remove this style. There should be no tags. There should be no tags. So I'll just delete everything. Paste and all. So look at this. Okay, so I have my H1 with a particular thing and H2 with a particular style. Okay, and I'll just change the color and show you how it changed into the effect. So now I'll save it. I'll go to my look at this, because now what happened was we created CSS page, but that was not linked to our index.html. So that is why it is showing a raw HTML surface or page. Now how do you link this HTML page with that style.css? So go to head section, go to head, within head just say link. Link is the tag name or element name. Okay, then rel is basically, it's a kind of attribute. Okay, it's called style sheet. Value will be automatically, it gets automatically filled up. href means where I should link. I'll just say style.css because my CSS file name is style.css. So same thing should be applied here also, style.css. That's it. Okay, now what I'll do, I'll just change some of the colors so that we'll just know, okay, something has changed. Instead of deep, I'll just say deep sky blue. Okay, instead of this background green, I'll just say light coral. I'll save it. Okay, I'll just go to my browser. Look at this. Okay, previously it was some other color. Now it has become deep, okay, sky blue, and this called light coral. This background is light coral. Okay, now this is called external CSS. Okay, so the advantage is the same CSS file can be linked to any HTML page. Okay, for example, I create one more page called sample.html. So in sample.html also I can link to this style sheet, and I can add, okay, my styles or at the bottom. Okay, so some of the elements which are there in sample.html, okay, they will be styled according to them. Okay, for example, is I have h3 here. Okay, then I have h4 here. Okay, I have styled it here, h3 and h4. Now h3, h4, they are not available here. Okay, in index.html, but my sample.html may have h3, h4. Okay, then when I link this style.css to that sample.html, then whatever, okay, style I set it here, they'll be applied to sample.html. That is advantage. Okay, so this is called external CSS. So we will be seeing more about CSS in the coming videos. Hope you enjoyed this video. Okay, and we'll be looking forward for more videos. Thank you.